Hello and welcome to our communications campaign final project where we talk about the business problem of innovation and how creativity is the solution to that. I am Dallas Jordan and my partner is Cece Jimenez.
Innovation is one of the nation's problems in the business world. We live in a day where technology advances in a blink of an eye. Businesses need to keep up with technology and encourage innovation from employees in order to be successful. In our project, we demonstrate why innovation is a problem in the business world and what the benefits are to engaging their employees to share their thoughts and be creative.
What if the solution to innovation in companies is creativity and boosting creative thought among its employees? Companies, should encourage intuition and creativity with an open door policy. Employees should be expected to become an expert in their field so that they can easily identify what areas are lacking and suggest improvements to their superior. This could result in more employees' happiness at work since they feel vital and useful to the company. Also, the business would get the benefit of constantly improving and adapting to technological changes and customer needs. Encouraging creativity among employees is half of the battle. The business will need to put in a system where ideas can be collaborated and evaluated on a regular basis. For smaller businesses, this could be the brainstorming method developed by Alex Osborne in 1934 or the nominal group method. For larger companies, employees could be encouraged to collaborate on an online forum or during a quarterly meeting. Ideas should be considered seriously by management, and participation should be intrinsically rewarding for the employees. Finding a method that works best for the business dynamic is crucial for continuous innovation. The objectives of this campaign was to educate and inspire action. For education, the goal was to help the audience understand what creativity is with definitions and explaining the creative flow. Also, I listed the steps of the creative process so viewers can understand the development of creativity. In addition, I explained the rewards of the creative process so the audience can relate to the benefits. The next objective was to inspire and to call action. I wanted to encourage creative thinking habits, inspire viewers to evaluate their own problem areas, and use this newfound information to innovate in their fields. Also, it was my goal to embolden the audience to share their ideas they might have been coveting with their peers and even to promote collaboration.
Organizations and the individuals who conduct innovation processes do it in a form of communication in the company. If everyone would be encouraged to participate in the innovation process, it could potentially mean huge profits. Stakeholders for company innovations include educational institutions, students, businesses, financial systems. Behind every innovator is education and a set of experiences that impart knowledge, expertise, and opportunity.
Throughout the presentation of our channels, the audience receives a lot of information about innovation and creativity. Now, it's unrealistic that they come away from the presentation with all the details memorized, which is why we have these key points. I'm hoping that my audience takes away these three main points. The first point is that your mind power and creative abilities are the most important assets you can contribute to an organization. Second, in order for a business to be successful in the long term, they need employees that can create solution, identify areas of growth, and collaborate with others. The last point is that contributing creative ideas and solutions gives intrinsic rewards and makes you an invaluable asset to any business. Next up, I want to go over the channels of communications that we selected and present some of the information that we included in those channels. Stay tuned. For one of the channels, we did select to do a PowerPoint because it is the best tool to assist with presenting information. Since our audience is in the business world, we would most likely have to give this presentation in a meeting setting, which is why PowerPoint was selected. Now, PowerPoint gives a visual for the audience to look at and allows them to identify the most important points and for the presenter to expand upon those ideas. For my 4 slides, I focused on defining creativity, explaining the creative process, listing the rewards of being creative, and proposed why creativity is the solution to the innovation problem. Now, what I'd like to do next is to dive a little deeper into these 4 slides and give you a basic idea of what information we have included that we would have used during our strategic communications campaign. Now let's go ahead and start with the creativity slide. Now, creativity is defined as the ability to produce ideas or problems to solutions that are uniquely appropriate and valuable. James C. Kaufman and Ron Beghetto created and published Beyond the Big and Little, the 4 C's of Creativity model. That was published in 2009, and it included the breakdown of different types of creativity. Those 4 types is the mini C, the little c, pro C, and big C. Let me give you a little overview of what those are. The mini C is for creativity during the learning process. The little c is for the creativity we use to solve daily problems. Pro C is creativity at the professional level that can impact processes or products in your industry. Big C is the creativity that changes society and impacts the culture of the world. These are renowned innovations that have been made. For example, the light bulb. For the next slide, I go over the creative process. And the creative process has 4 different steps to it. The first step is perception. This is where you evaluate your world and perceive a problem. After you perceive this problem, you enter the second stage, which is incubation. This is the longest step since your mind is working through all the different solutions and ideas to solve the problem. This could also be the experimental stage where you try different solutions and see what works. Once you have that aha moment, you move on to the third step, which is inspiration. It's that eureka moment where the idea just seems to click and you discovered the solution. After you've found that possible solution, it's time to test it out in the real world and to continually improve on it. This is the final step, verification. And this is the step where the individual needs to be the most diligent. Now, the creative process is rewarding in its own right because of that pride you feel when you accomplish a goal. There is also that feeling of complete absorption in the creative process that's called the flow. That feeling of pleasure from creativity is the optimal experience. Not only do you get intrinsic rewards from creativity, but your place of work may reward you extrinsically. For example, they can give you a bonus for creating possible solutions. Now, Dan Pink did a TED Talk where he talked about creativity, intrinsic rewards, and extrinsic motivators. And he concluded from research and studies that extrinsic motivators crush creativity while intrinsic motivations help creativity flourish. So businesses should be taking away this concept and applying it into their own companies. They should be they should be promoting intrinsic rewards amongst their own employees. Now, for the last slide, creativity is a benefit not only to the individual but to the business and even society. As we propel into a future, the workforce will need to be equipped with creativity to solve the innovation problems in the business world. Companies will benefit from their professional employees improving on their processes or even creating new products. Employees will also benefit from the intrinsic rewards and from experiencing the flow of the creative process. Overall, the situation is a win-win for not only the individuals but also the business. The second channel of communication that I completed was done on Facebook. I chose this channel since most people use social media on a daily basis to network with others. The goal of this channel was to provide a platform where people can meet, share ideas, brag about their new ideas, or even collaborate with others. Now, I personally included posts about the purpose of the page and shared my own experiences with the creative process and innovating in the workplace. Check it out.
The following are the 4 PowerPoint slides that I created. The following show the channels of communication I decided to use. The top left, I explain what innovation is. Innovation in the business involves developing new products for improving existing technologies, processes, designs, and marketing to solve problems and increase efficiency. The Global Innovation Index measures all countries' innovation scores, calculating 2 sub-indices: innovation input and innovation output. In 2019, the US scored number 3 in the Global Innovation Index. Next, in the top left, shows the challenges that businesses face. The Future of Business surveys millions and millions of small and medium businesses biannually in an effort to gather the challenges and expectations. The purpose is that businesses can then use the data as a resource for support. As of 2018, attracting customers and increasing revenue have been their biggest challenges by over 50%. The bottom 2 slides show why innovation is a problem and the changes that have been made over time. In a recent study, Accenture surveyed over 800 employees and 52% of them pursued an innovative idea at work. The problem lies where only 20% of employees feel that they are offered enough support to develop their ideas. 36% say that they were too busy at work to pursue any new ideas or are discouraged because if they do come up with an idea, only upon the implementation of the idea will they be rewarded. On the other hand, employers argue that the support they share with employees depend on their operating margin. Tight operating margins mean less time available to meet with employees and also less resources to help them. Employers also say that most innovative ideas are internal and a way to make the workplace environment more effective rather than an external idea to grow the business. So then, what are employees doing with these ideas if they're not sharing them? The Department of Labor says that they estimate 2 million Americans leaving their jobs every month to start their own business, since the cost and the process of starting their own business is relatively easy, according to Ward. Companies are doing a better job at motivating and supporting innovative ideas in the workplace. Having direct and sincere communication in the workplace will motivate employees to speak up with their ideas. If company margins are tight, it is a great idea to seek outside resources such as angel investors and resources outside available for small and medium business support. The 3 horizons of innovative growth shows the impact that these steps can take toward eventually, over time, innovative ideas will transform an entire organization. The last channel of communication I chose is a short Powtoon video, which includes 5 tips to encourage employee innovation. I chose these sources because the audience to encourage innovation includes people in the workplace and students preparing to go in the workplace. I feel that bringing awareness, making it simple, will teach people that innovation does not have to be hard.
This project is unique so far in my educational career. I've never created a communications campaign with another person before. I enjoyed creating the outline and doing the research. It was fascinating to learn about the creative process and read about the different studies that have been done on this topic. I even had a textbook from another class that had a chapter about creativity, and it was interesting to be able to tie in that information to this project. Now, I also normally dislike working in groups, but Cece was so awesome to work with. She always did her work, was easy to collaborate with, and had some great ideas. We did communicate primarily through the inbox on Canvas and outlined our project goals together in Blue Dot. When working on this project, I experienced the creative flow myself. I could feel the different pieces of information coming together that I researched to this project, and compiling it into the PowerPoint and Facebook page just seemed to flow easily. It was a great experience.
It was easy to look at the assignments and have a vision on what we wanted to present. Having a partner to work with is fun because I can offer the ideas I have and brainstorm to make a strategic plan on tackling the assignments. I am also able to use resources and make connections with other courses and personal experiences for the projects that we had in this course. After coming up with an overall plan, meeting deadlines is one of my greatest successes.
I personally do not use social media on a daily basis, and I am unfamiliar with how it functions. Though to complete one of the channels of communication, I did have to reopen my old Facebook account and figure out how to create a new page. It was a bit of a learning curve, but I see the value of having a social media page where anyone can network with others and post their ideas. Also, it was a bit of a learning curve working with a partner on such an important project. I will say it was nice to have somebody there to share the workload, but coordinating on some bits of the project was choppy due to the response delay, since Cece and I do have very different schedules. I learned the value of knowing how to deliver a message. It was fascinating to learn about the effectiveness of different communication channels and how audiences need to be considered when selecting those channels.
Networking is important for everyone at school, work, and in personal life. To be a successful innovator, having the right network and contacts can determine whether the idea can rocket. The right people by your side will also motivate you. I not only learned this by the research for my project, but my partner Dallas encouraged me and worked as a team throughout the whole semester.